on that item. After we close the floor on agenda items, then we'll go to other matters. At that point, that means anything else that you would like to bring before council, you may bring before council. So that's what we have when we have when I open the public comment section. But anyway, before we go into the public comment, we would like to get the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which was April the 21st. I would appreciate a motion and a second that those minutes be received as written.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. To make a correction to the minutes.
Okay, let me say it was moved by Mr. Garvin and second by Ms. Frazier. Correction, go ahead.
The lady that spoke first, Early Irie. Early Irie.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All in favor with the correction as noted, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. The motion is carried. Now the floor is open for public comments for the agenda item. Anything on the agenda item that someone would like to comment on?
Good evening. My name is Harvey Everwood. I spoke at the last county council meeting regarding the ordinance as coming to the third reading and public hearing on the establishment of a moratorium on the application of a processing plant for compost and animal waste. Am I in order in speaking on this matter at this time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in and say that I was against it. That's all. I don't want Orangeburg to be a dumping ground for people outside this area. That's all. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you. We have a public, if we have a public, third reading, we have a public hearing on that, so go ahead. Let me read that and open the public hearing on that if you come in to talk about that same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait till I get to there. I've got a couple of items before I get there. Okay. That will be later on down into the. Any other than that item, other than item 1, item 3, which have a public hearing on it, which is the compost person. Other than that, any other items on here that somebody want to comment on?
Other matters?
Other matters, not yet. I'm open that. Hearing none, nobody else have nothing else except for that item. I know that item's gonna be later on. So now the floor is open for other matters. At this time, other matters, if you have comment on other matters.
My name is Gene Ball, and I'm pastor of St. Eva's Baptist Church down on 9750 over number 6 highway. Just want to say thank you to the council. Appreciate you all allowing me to speak, and Harold the best, and for Ms. Frazier, Ms. Cooper, of course by virtual, we were glad for you. Here to express my objection to the proposed conceal project there in Santee, as well as anywhere in the state. I've expressed the objection to Representative Ms. Gilda Hunter, as well as Representative Jerry Govans, and as well as our new Senator Jeff Zale. I've lived in Santee, it's my home for 50 years as pastor, also ministered 23 years weekly at Grace Home in Santee, for women that have addictions and misery, heartbreak, and sorrow, requiring extra law enforcement, or really the downside to the gambling industry. It's not only an industry in itself, but also the things that it brings with it. I look back at this, and a point as I think about, as a partridge sits on the eggs and hatches them not, so is he that getteth the riches and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at the end shall be a fool. Again, we find love not the world. things that are in the world. If a man love the world, love the Father's not in him. All the sin of the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of life. It's not of the Father, but of the world. The world passeth away, lust thereof. He that doeth the will of God abideth forever. Now let's get the conclusion of the whole matter, and that is, fear God, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And for God shall bring every work into judgment, every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. As a Christian, I want to be very careful about praying the Lord's Prayer. And in this, because here it says, thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I would not want to lie to God in prayer, and knowing that he would know the difference, and I would be a hypocrite and a liar. I'm convinced that there's not going to be a casino in heaven. So if I want God's will in heaven, I'm going to be there. Additionally, there again, more revenues were received, just as much like we find out in Dawn's car crushing there, where the fire departments have to respond between 10 and 15 times a year, and you'll get a reimbursement for the expenses. Again, I would hope that you might encourage the family-oriented type businesses that would enhance the quality of the people, people of this county, and have God's blessing rather than allowing a private company to collect money and you and all of us bear the expense of their benefit. Thank you very much for your time and your patience with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Anyone else in other matters?
I'm Reverend Wayne Ellis. I'm pastor at Double Branch Baptist Church on Nices Highway, and I live in Fort Holmes, and I've been a resident here for 12 years. I want to speak to this matter about the casino. I would be opposed to a casino. Really, it's very simple. I look at gambling, and I see in the scripture in Mark 15:24 and John 19:24, where they gambled for the garments of our Lord Jesus while he hung on the cross. I think that says a lot about the gambling industry right there. And I want to say to you, I think that gambling looks bad. I think it looks bad for our county. It's not a prestige industry. If you try to make gambling a prestige industry, you're really trying to put lipstick on a pig. And all you're doing is making the pig mad. That's really all you're accomplishing. Because at the end of the day, it's still a pig. I heard last time that I was here, I got here late and I did not get to speak. I heard last time that I was here about comparing this new casino to a place up in Virginia, somewhere up there, called Oxon Hill, and how upscale it was and all of that. And I thought about that. Didn't have an answer for that at the time, but here's one now. The only difference between a streetwalker and a high-class hooker is the price of the dress. And in order for either one of them to be successful, that dress has got to hit the floor and their body be used and abused by somebody who does not love them and does not care for them. When I think about gambling people coming to Orangeburg, that's what I think they're doing to this county. They do not love us. They do not care for us. They really just come here to play, and to play what you might call adult fun. Well, in the Bible, it says that the children of Israel sat down to feast, and then they got up to play. And Moses broke all the 10 Commandments at one time when he came down off the mountain for the things that he saw and heard. So these tourists, so to speak, are coming here, but they're not coming here to bless. They're really coming here to take. I heard recently on TikTok that this is the worst county in South Carolina. Worst county. And I thought that, in the book of Hosea, his wife Gomer was all used up.
Thank you, Reverend Wayne. Anyone else?
Hello.
Hello?
I spoke last time. Sid Goff. I wanted to correct what I said, because after I spoke, I've been asked if you've ever been in a casino. An experiential thing versus something looking at the facts, something objective, because that's what we want to do when we look at the facts. So, and I'm afraid that a lot of people, I'm encouraged tonight, will say, no skin on my nose, no dog in the fight, or we just have to wait and see, and they don't do anything. So tonight is encouraging, but let me correct what I spoke of. My wife and I were at Niagara Falls, and we walked through a casino. Apparently, it didn't impress me at all, because we didn't do anything, and I didn't remember it. So there you go. But we just need to keep the right world view and look at the facts, not just the proposed facts or the potential that isn't reality yet. So let's talk about our past, because last time I gave you some facts that were against the industry. But you, as our leaders, per the record, have worked to attract industry and growth and positivity to our county. Every day there's a characteristic of Orangeburg County posted. And fruit is being yielded. Before coming here, I rode to Santee. I saw an RV park I didn't know was there. I saw where D.R. Horton in Santee had built all these houses and whatnot. On the other side of Somerset, a new subdivision going in. So there's a lot of growth. And you might remember as well, in News 19 did a report from 2022 or 2023 that tells us that a quarter of the growth to the county, because the county actually grew during that time period rather than shrank, moved to the Santee area. They didn't need a casino. Don't know if they want a casino, don't know if any of them want to play in a casino. But would they have bothered to move here had the casino been there? Would some of the industry that's going on right now have come there, had it been there? In the industrial parks, Matthews at US 176 has business in it. And the city sewer is in there. So some of that infrastructure is there. And at I-26 and 301, things are growing up. It's headed that way, just like Somerville and Charleston are growing up 26. So growth is coming. Now, it might not be a BMW or a Boeing, but we don't have an airport and to do. And Santee isn't Silicon Valley. Never was, and it won't be. But I would just like to ask you to consider that about what our citizens have, what we are attracting. Santee is basically a retirement area for the most part, but there are people who live and work there and take care of things for folks. And we all know it's best not to have all of our eggs in one basket. Rather, stay the course and do what is working. We encourage prudence and patience over cards. Plans uncharted or potential calamity that cannot be undone. We want growth and positive growth.
Thank you, Mr. Sid.
My name is Henry Dyson, and I am also opposed to the casino. Just speaking as a regular citizen, I'm not representing a group or an organization, just as a Joe Blow, regular citizen. I'd like to congratulate the council on the steps that I've seen where they've taken in the past to bring industry, industrial parks, and new manufacturers to the county. I congratulate you for that for the county. And I say that that is the course to take as we seek to rebuild our county, improve the economy, and all those other things. Okay? I'd much rather see that kind of projection, that kind of growth, as opposed to building on the growth of the toss of a dice or the roll of a dice, or built on a house of cards. Just want to talk, about values, which I think we should carry forward, of course, from here. And that is a value given to me by my parents: hard work, diligence, study, education, and all of those things. Not quick, get rich scheme.
Yeah.
Which is what I see basically gambling as being. And I'm speaking from experiences of my relatives, friends, whose lives, families, careers have been destroyed because of their addiction to gambling. Well, I don't gamble, so why should I support something that does gamble or that promotes gambling? So for those reasons, I'm opposed. I also like to say that very often the projections presented by the proponents of gambling rarely reach the potential that predicted. And so I just want to urge us to be careful of short pleasure and long pain.
Amen.
Short pleasure being immediate gratification, but ignoring the consequences of our decisions, which could result in long pain, all of the side effects that we don't see immediately that come as a result of our decision to our community. So, a hopeful strategy is, yes, build the county, build it with industry, with jobs, like you're doing, for the benefit of supporting families and building better communities.
Amen. Well said. Thank you, Mr. Dodson.
My name is Darrell Wilkins. I'm pastor of Grace Baptist Church here in Orangeburg. I live in the north. I'm here to oppose the casino. I don't think I could state much better than what the gentleman before me stated. And most of you folks don't know me, probably don't know me at all. And that doesn't matter. But the man that got up here, right here beside me here, is a man I think probably all of you know, or at least know of. In fact, he's been in the fire prevention business in Orangeburg County for a long time. Not only physical fires, but as a pastor, spiritual fires. And you folks have known this man for years. He's been around. He's not a Johnny-come-lately. And you know his character. You know his testimony. You know his demeanor. And that it's a good demeanor. It's a Christ-like demeanor. It's a man that follows God. He's a man of God. And what I'm asking you to do is, you know, we're here to count. I appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate you folks making the opportunity for us to come.
Yeah.
But you do know this man. And it would be good to follow the advice of a man of God that you've been able to follow. This is a man that's put his heart into this county. I don't think anybody could deny that. In the fire protection and also in pastoring and just dedicated his life to make this a better county. And I think what he said ought to carry a lot of weight. I think it ought to mean a lot to you councilmen and councilwomen that, you know, we need to advise and try to help you. I want to say something right here. I believe, and I don't know who's planning on voting for it, if it ever gets here or not, and who's not. I cannot judge your intentions or your motives unless you tell me. Personally, I have to say that I believe your motives might be good, that you have good intentions. But I believe they're misguided intentions. And it would be well to listen to someone that you watch walk with the Lord, have a testimony that has been a great influence and done a lot for this county. And take his advice seriously, because it's godly advice. It's prayerful advice. It's advice that comes from a loving heart for this county and for this people of the county. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Reverend Wilson.
Hello, my name is Matthew Suttle. Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for all those who have spoken already. So I come here because I've read this bill, spent some time at the State House recently. And the thing is, there's a lot of things promised, right? $500 million, $1 billion, $55 million in revenue. But when you look at House Bill 4176, it becomes clear that, man, it's an illusion. See, the bill promises $55 million in revenue, but only 3% of that would be split among the counties, Orangeburg, Dillon, and Marlboro counties. What is that? 1%, right? 97% of that goes to the state to be used however, and then we're left to feel the weight of the law enforcement, the crime that will increase. We will be the ones policing the homelessness, the addiction. In fact, there's already been money allocated. The bill already allocates funds for mental health and gambling addiction. But before the first dollar is even made, it's already allocating money for that. So they already tell us that there's going to be a problem, so let's allocate money for it. And so the 5,000 jobs promised, let's look at history. History tells us that most of those will be low-wage, short-term, and many of those will be filled from people outside the region here now. And so when we look at this legislation, I mean, we realize that the increased social costs, man, just outweigh. The real estate market will be impacted. Those of you that are in real estate know you may see an uptick initially, but the long-term benefits, look at Atlantic City, look at Vegas. It's a roller coaster ride. Nobody wants to invest. Listen, I pastor Faith Church in Santee. I am on the exit of this proposed casino. And this is what I want us to understand. If these folks really cared about the community, why haven't they cleaned up that facility yet? They've owned it over a year. Why isn't this group of people that can write a letter to them and say, clean up your house? They don't clean up their house now. Do you think they'll clean up their house when they have a casino there? Absolutely not. And so we understand that this probably won't pass this year. But the way that this is detailed, the counties involved would have to request for the license to be given to the specific county. I beg you, and we're going to be asking you, we're going to be getting in touch with each one of you, and we're going to be asking you where you stand, because elections are coming, and we want to make sure we have the people in place that will fight for the people of Orangeburg County, and that's what we're here for. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews, Reverend Matthews.
Seth Wilkins, 26-year-long resident of South Carolina, or Orangeburg County, South Carolina, 28 years in the state. I'm from Mr. Garvin's district. I just want to rise in opposition to the casino in Santee. I don't believe that it's good for the moral fiber of our county and of our state. Research has shown that up to 50% of income that casinos generate comes from degenerative gamblers, which means people that have an addiction and have a problem. And I don't think that's a good thing to have in our community. I think that it's going to increase crime rates. It's going to increase people being homeless. It's going to increase taking money away from children that need it. And I think it's going to be a detriment as opposed to a compliment to our society. And we're in a state of South Carolina that's gone so many years without gambling. Why do we need to bring it in now? We've had so many people that have come in that have lived here. It's a great place to live and raise a family, but I don't think it will be that if we allow this to come in. And I can speak from personal experience. I have an uncle who was raised in a strong moral home, but he got involved in gambling, and he lost everything he had. And he died at 49 years old without a home, without a dollar to his name hardly. And I can speak from that in personal experience, and I don't want to see people in my community and in my state have that same fate that he had. And you think about Las Vegas, it's called Sin City.
That's right.
And that's what Las Vegas is known for, is gambling. But God's word says that sin is a reproach to any people. And Sin City does not need to come to South Carolina. We don't want South Carolina to be a reproach to our people and a reproach to our God. So when this comes up before you guys, think about the reproach that God has said that sin is, and we don't want that in our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkins.
is Jacob Wilkins. I'm also a resident of North, and I'm very opposed to this bill. First of all, I believe it's against the Lord Jesus Christ. But I speak as a parent of 4 children, and anybody who has any common sense knows that gambling raises crime, and anything that is not good. Anything that come out of gambling is nothing good. The Bible says righteousness exalteth the nation. You can say righteousness exalteth this county. Well, there's nothing righteous about gambling, making money off of people. A lot of people that gamble are poor already, trying to get rich, and there's nothing righteous about that. The Bible talks about he that is greedy of filthy lucre, or gambling is filthy lucre. There's nothing good that comes out of it. So I'm speaking, my main point is, I've got 4 children, and when I think about the crime rate that can come from gambling, when my children were to die because of something that these people here, that you allowed to come to our county, it's a very sobering thought. I ask that you would consider the generations that are to come, what the effect this could have on them, and just please think about, if it was your children, do you want them raised in a county full of crime? And that's my main point. Just think about that when this bill comes before you. Think about your children and how you would want them to be raised in this environment. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Wilkins.
My name is Harvey Elwood, and I'm in support of the casino. Our children can find jobs of relevance and importance. Most of you all have never been outside of this area in your lives. None of you all have been at a casino in your lives. None of you all know the amount of revenue that can be generated. We just got rid of the cruise ships down in Charleston. People voted for that. We lost thousands of jobs and thousands of dollars in revenue. I'm a Christian. That man who spoke, that's my deacon. That's my deacon. He took care of me during COVID. He was at my house. Henry Dyson. I'm a Christian, but I support this. Remember who was against slavery and who was for it in the South. Remember that. Remember that. We were chained to the Bible and chained in slavery because somebody who said they believed in the Bible kept us in slavery. So I know better. I'm smarter than that. I'm not going to allow somebody to come in here and wave their religion around and that they're so moral and that they're so good when their ancestors were the one that put us in chains and kept us there. That is a reality. This casino will create jobs and opportunity for people who have the right mindedness and can think outside the Bible. Most of you all are locked in the South. I've been here since 1823. I've known what this place is possible, what's possible to be done here. I don't see any of you all proposing anything of any substance that can make this place grow. I see you come and complain, but I come up and down this street, up and down Russell Street, looking for improvement every day. Where are you all when we have these council meetings all the time? Where are you all? Where's your voices? Where are your plans? Where are your proposals to bring this place and make it a better place? We only see you when you come with a complaint. Come with something positive. And then people will have more respect for you when you do. But the only time we see you is when you come with a complaint, or something that you don't like, or something that you don't want, or something that you can't create, or something you can't profit from. I don't think that's right. I'm for our children. I worked in education for 20 years as both a professor and a public school educator. And I'm a Christian. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything to hurt this place. I love this place. And I walk these streets and support everything that's good that's here. This casino will help us. We will have more funding, more revenue, and more opportunity. We're talking about 5,000 jobs, $50 million annual in revenue, and no, the revenue will not be split in the formula which you suggested. It's not. It's not. That you're definitely wrong. But I want to thank you, council members, for hearing me out. I realized that I was 6 against 1. So do I get any extra time?
No, sir. No.
But my point was made. Thank you, and he will, and you know he will, and you know he will. Listen, without you saying it, watch it, watch it, watch it. And go ahead and listen
Okay.
what you say.
Anyone else have any?
Believe that, trust me when I tell you that.
Anyone else? Not, we will close the public hearing portion of our meeting, and we will go into the regular agenda. First item on the agenda is a proclamation for National Correctional Officer Week. And it reads as follows: Proclamation, State of South Carolina, County of Orangeburg, National Correctional Officers Week. Proclamation, awareness of Correctional Officers Week. Whereas on May 5th, 1984, National Correctional Officers Week was first proclaimed by President Ronald Reagan. He signed Proclamation 5187 to formally recognize the men and women of the corrections profession and the dangers associated with their role. And whereas correctional officers play a vital role in the criminal justice system, working tirelessly to maintain safety, security, and order within our correctional facilities while upholding the highest standards of professionalism and integrity. And whereas these officers face daily challenges and risks, demonstrating unwavering courage, commitment, and resilience in the performance of their duties. And whereas the citizens of Orangeburg County are safer because of the dedication and sacrifice of the correctional officer staff who protect the public, supervise individuals in custody, and support rehabilitation and regeneration efforts. And whereas it is fitting and proper to recognize the outstanding services of our correctional officers and express our appreciation for their work in protecting our communities. Now therefore I, Johnny Wright Sr., Chairman of the Orangeburg County Council, do hereby proclaim the week of May 4th through the 10th as National Correctional Officers Week in Orangeburg County, and urge all residents to join in honoring the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices of the correctional officers who serve in our county facilities and throughout the nation. In witness thereof, we have hereupon set our hands and caused the seal of Orangeburg County to be affixed this 4th day of May 2025. Johnny Wright Sr., Chairperson, attests Clerk to Council, County 14. Could I get a motion second to pass this proclamation, please?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Johnny Ravenel and second by Ms. Walker or Ms. Cooper, I don't know, whoever. But all in favor of it, let's just say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers to it? Ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Amen.
Next item on the agenda is proclamation for Older American Month. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Stand up, all the correctional officers. Looking down at the paper, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Garvin, you had.
Yes, I'd like to thank these correction officers. I know they don't have an easy job. I retired from Alvin's Glen Detention Center myself, and I realized that y'all wear many, many hats. These folks don't have an idea of what y'all have to do. Y'all go into a unit with nothing but a pair of handcuffs and have to use their skills. They use very soft skills with these detainees. It's very dangerous. but they do it, and we thank you so very much. I thank you, and I applaud you. Thank you, Ms. Dozier.
Thank you. Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I would like to say something. I would like to say on behalf of the council, we appreciate what you all do each and every day. And at this time, I'd like for you to tell us who you are. Your names, please.
Ms. Dozier.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Anita Dozier. I'm the jail director for Orangeburg County. I've been employed with Orangeburg County for about 30+ years.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Officer Copeland. I'm the training officer at Orangeburg County Detention Center. I have been employed with the county for almost 10 years.
Good afternoon, I'm Officer J. Brown, and I've been here for 2 years, 4 months. Good evening, I'm the booking lieutenant at the detention center, and I've been employed for a little over 6 years.
How you doing? I'm Captain T. Williams of Operations, and I've been with Orangeburg County almost 17 years.
You look like that, Joe. We have tenure here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I would just like to say I appreciate everything that these men and women do. Just like Councilman Garvey said, it's a dangerous job and we appreciate what they do. And a lot of times they go unnoticed, but we appreciate the fact that we can take this time to make this proclamation to show them that we appreciate what they do. And Orangeburg County tips their hats off to them and from administration for all the calls that we make during the week, during the nights. You're always there doing your jobs, during hurricanes, during storms. You're always holding back the worst of society so the rest of us can live in peace, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator, and thank you all who have commented toward the correctional officers. And again, we appreciate you, especially those folks who've been here for a long time and stuck with it. Thank you so very much. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation for Older Americans Month, and I will yield to Councilwoman Walker who sponsored that to read that.
And I would also like to say something before I read this proclamation. As a council person, we deal with many wants, needs, and desires. But it's very disrespectful when we have people show up at the meetings and threaten our seats. I'm a retired law enforcement officer who traveled the state of South Carolina with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. And I work harder now than I did while I SLED. So I take that statement as disrespectful when someone comes here and because they may or may not get what they want, they throw a blatant threat. We can have a conversation after the meeting, but feel free to come to some more meetings so you can see how council is run.
Thank you.
Okay, so this proclamation is for Older Americans Month, 2025. Sponsor, Councilwoman Letitia Walker. State of South Carolina, County of Orangeburg. Proclaiming Older Americans Month, 2025. Whereas May is Older Americans Month, a time for us to recognize and honor Orangeburg County's older adults and their immense influence on every facet of American society. And whereas, through their wealth of life experience and wisdom, older adults guide our younger generations and carry forward abundant cultural and historical knowledge. And whereas older Americans, through their diverse skills and experiences, improve our communities through intergenerational relationships, community service, and civic engagement. And whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently. And whereas Orangeburg County Council joins forces with the Administration for Community Living, the ACL, in recognizing the observance of Older Americans Month, OAM, a time to celebrate older Americans' contributions, highlighting aging trends, and reaffirm our commitment to advocate for age-related policies that support older adults and their caregivers. Now, therefore, we recognize and applaud Mount Pisgah Baptist Church, 310 Green Street, Orangeburg, South Carolina, as trailblazers in sponsoring a community forum and luncheon, Flip the Script on Aging, in celebration of Older Americans Month. I hereby proclaim May 2025 as Older Americans Month in Orangeburg County, emphasizing the importance of transforming societal perceptions, discussions, and approaches to aging. I, Councilwoman Letitia Walker, call upon all communities to join me in recognizing the contributions of our older adults and promoting programs and activities that foster connections, inclusion, and support for older adults. Chairman Johnny Wright, myself, Councilwoman Letitia Walker, District 7, and attested by our Clerk to Council, Connie N. Portie.
Thank you so very much, Councilwoman Walker. Have a motion and a second to pass that proclamation.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin and second by Ms. Frazier that we pass the proclamation that was read by Councilwoman Walker. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers to it? Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, my microphone is off. May I say something, please,
Yes,
sir?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Most of us on council are senior citizens. Years ago, I was a member of the Lieutenant Governor's Council on Aging. And there's a day, the first day of May, the Senior Citizens Day in this state. And the senior citizens from the Orangeburg County Council on Aging, every year they take that trip to Columbia. So it's what she's saying, I like what she's saying. And I think this is the first time we've ever read a proclamation honoring Senior Citizens Month. Thank you. I'm a senior citizen, and I am glad to have lived as long as I've lived.
Thank you, ma'am. Next item is the third item on the agenda is an ordinance, the third reading and public hearing. Now, this is the one that probably, an ordinance establishing a temporary moratorium on applications and processing for land use composed within class number 325315 of the North American Industry Classification System, regarding sewer and animal waste, compost manufacturing, and related matters. Mr. Administrator, if you want to add anything or say anything on this for the benefit of the public before I open the floor for public hearing.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The council is concerned and is using this to deal with the classification that deals with sewage systems and animal waste manufacturing. And this is to create a moratorium to stop any other location for coming in the county that would be detrimental to the health and welfare of the residents. So we wanted to take the time to study this so we can make sure that we handle this type of business and use properly.
Thank you so very much. The floor is now open for public hearing, and I think some gentlemen said they wanted to say something this time on this item.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me? I might as well start. So I'm Alan Klum. I'm from Charleston County. So I'm an outsider that was referenced. I'm not from Orangeburg. It did give me great comfort when the correction officers were here. I hate that they left because I wanted to acknowledge that. It's the job they do. So Chairman Wright, County Council, I appreciate the work that you do. It is not easy. And I understand when you have issues that have been created from an outdoor facility, your job is even harder. What I want to present to you, hopefully you have seen a letter that we wrote to County Council, but to the public as well. There are better ways to compost. There's better technology. I would like to offer a viable solution. That viable solution is indoor composting. not outdoor composting. I am not part of the outdoor facility. I do not work for the outdoor facility, and I do not have decision-making power for the outdoor facility. But I know there is a better way to do this, and that's what I would at least like county council and the public to better understand. So I'm a scientist. I've been involved with biosolids for 20 years. I wear my shovel proudly. I do not want our industry to have a black eye and a bad reputation. It's important to me. It's important to me that you understand the options out there. Indoor composting facility as opposed to outdoor composting facility, night and day difference. To me, a simple analogy would be I would not choose to sleep outside in July because it's awfully hot. However, in my home is quite comfortable. The two are night and day. They are very different. I would like to ask County Council and hope that you understand, we have received a $10 million SCIP grant from the Rural Infrastructure Authority to build an indoor composting facility. It has taken us a while to get to this point because we wanted to do it right. Outdoor facilities can be built very quickly. Indoor facilities, it takes a lot of planning. We're at the point where we need a building permit for our indoor facility. The delay, 180-day delay, may jeopardize that SCIP grant that we've received. I would like to ask County Council to amend that to a 90-day delay moratorium. I understand the public needs answers. I understand you need to respond to the odor issues that are at hand. But understand that any moratorium, whether it's 180-day or 90-day, will not impact this outdoor composting facility that is currently producing the odors. It will not impact that. It will impact what I feel is the solution to the problem. I feel I can bring the solution. I feel that if I have time to talk to the public, to talk to county council, you will better understand that. But time is of the essence. 180 days is a long delay in the SCIP process, as you're aware of the deadlines required by the SCIP process. I feel 90 days would offer the same protection to the public. It would allow you at the end of that 90-day period to take action. If you felt like you were not informed and that we have not done a good job providing you those differences, it would give you that opportunity. I want to close with, I realize I'm running out of time, but I just want you to know I am truly disappointed in the odor issues and the operational issues from that outdoor facility. That's not what this shovel means to me, and that's not the way we would operate an indoor facility. But you need to take the time to better understand that. So I have a process that will make that work. Please consider the 90-day amendment to the moratorium. I believe if we are given the opportunity to talk to the public and to educate county council, we can make a difference.
Thank you. You got his name? What's your name, please, for the record?
A-L-L-A-N, Allen. Last name is Clum, C-L-U-M. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any other comments from this item?
I have a question I'd like to ask Mr. Plum, please. I'd like to know, Mr. Plum, is there a guarantee that your indoor facility will not have the odors that our constituents in that area are complaining about?
I would like to take over that 90-day period to prove to you that to be true. An indoor facility, again, it has state-of-the-art odor abatement equipment, odor filters. The emissions from that plant would be very similar to sitting in this room. It is an industrial facility. It is a building. It's fully enclosed. When trucks arrive, they drive into the enclosure and doors shut behind them. If given the opportunity, I would like to prove that to you so that you can make an informed decision.
Okay, what's the risk to the employees?
Again, the material is odorous, right? I mean, here's the issue. You and I are creating this product. We know exactly what this product is. It is a product that South Carolina will have to deal with, and all of us have to deal with every day of our lives. We are the source of the product. However, right now, currently, in South Carolina, landfill is typically the approach to disposal. Now, that is not sustainable for any of us. We're filling up the landfill with a product that has beneficial use. That product has beneficial reuse if managed appropriately. So I believe the regional answer, the reason we're looking at regional partners is because we are all involved in this. It is a South Carolina issue. It isn't a Charleston issue. It isn't an Orangeburg issue. This is a population issue. And I feel we have a better way to manage this product. So employees absolutely are a concern. A facility the size that we would look to build would be a $30 million total investment. There would be 15 to 20 employees in there. And certainly safety is a concern for those employees.
Mr. Chairman.
You have been involved in building, creating these indoor facilities in the past year?
So personally, I have not. So I have not been involved, nor have I worked at one of those facilities. I have seen them, but I've not been involved in operating one nor owning one.
So you have researched a lot of this information
Through site visits, through veteran. I've been involved in this industry for 20 years. I've seen outdoor facilities fail. I've seen digesters fail here in South Carolina, which is the reason we selected this technology. We feel this technology will succeed. But I have not operated one. I don't want to mislead you and make you think that I have. I have not. But I have been to those facilities. I've seen them in operation.
Ms. Smith?
Mr. Chairman. Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Crump, are there any indoor facilities in the state of South Carolina?
So there are not indoor facilities in the state. So in the state of South Carolina, the cheapest, quickest way to produce compost is with an outdoor facility. Outdoor facilities or direct spray, it is the cheap way to go from a capital investment standpoint, and that is typically what you will find in our state. Again, we have chosen indoor technology. There is an indoor facility in Raleigh, and there's an indoor facility in Pennsylvania that I'm very familiar with. The one in Raleigh is first generation, and the one in Pennsylvania is what I would consider a second generation facility. Both of those facilities are, in my opinion, best in class. But an outdoor facility, as you can imagine, you cannot control odors. I mean, it's just common sense, right? If something is outside in windrows or a pile, you cannot control odors. It's very, very difficult to manage that. An indoor facility, an industrial facility, it is extremely easy to manage that operation. It's a different ballgame. It's night and day. It's two different technologies.
Will the people have to wear any kind of special outfits, work, or regular clothing, or what?
Yep, there are certain requirements depending on where you are in the facility. Probably the biggest difference, these facilities aerate that material. It's from the floor, so there's vents on the floor pushing air through the material. It is a different process than just piling it outside in windrows. The technology is just so different. You either need to see it or have someone that you trust see it to better understand it. It is a night and day operation. Again, the simplest way for me to get my head around it to somebody that doesn't understand it is, would you sleep outside in July? Could you? I couldn't. But I sleep very comfortably inside my house. It's because it is completely conditioned and controlled. But I would like the opportunity over 90 days to educate not only council, but the public, so that you believe that. Again, this shovel means a lot to me. I don't take that lightly. I do not want to create a situation for Orangeburg County, and I do not want to create a situation for the residents. That is very important to me. But time is of the essence, as you understand the script. And again, this moratorium, either way, whether it's 90 days or 180 days, it will not impact the current outdoor facility. In my opinion, it will only impact the solution to the odor issues we're currently dealing with. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and thank you for your questions.
At this point, I guess, we cannot just amend that, because Right, Madam Attorney, you cannot tell.
You can amend it that you have to have a unanimous agreement to amend it.
Also, we all have that, or we gonna go for it. We kind of vote and they do it like it is.
Yes, sir, we dealing with what's at hand.
Right, okay. You gonna vote?
Am I allowed to ask a question?
No, ma'am.
It's really something you would want to know before you vote. May I approach and ask him a question?
Well, we
on
only
record?
usually attend that, go in public here, but go ahead.
So my name is Amanda Jones, and I'm an avid gardener, and so, where are you? Hey, John.
Right there.
So, yeah, so, how would they vote, okay, if rainfall is an integral part of engineering a composting operation, whether it be outside or inside, it has to be because of the nitrogen, potassiums, calciums, the minerals, all of that balances a really nice composting situation. So if you're adding to like any type of rainfall catch, which is what I assume you're doing, what are you gonna do with that runoff and how does that affect our waterways? If you're not vaporizing and you're not dispersing in the air, then how are you dealing with the runoff and the absorption?
Can I approach and answer?
I mean, do you understand that it's either gonna affect our skies and our air, or it's gonna affect the waterways? And I think that's really good information for you guys to know before you vote.
I agree with you 100%. That's
Respectfully.
Respectfully, you know, my thing is that with the kind of outpour on that facility, outside facilities have put on my district, and I do appreciate what Mr. Allen is saying, but I cannot, until we do some study, more study, I cannot vote to have it.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, you can let him explain and all that, but you can get with him and let him explain all that. Right now, I think we're gonna just call for the vote on this reading. We close the public hearing portion of it. And ask for a motion and a second for third reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Cooper Smith and second by Mr. Ravenel for third reading. All in favor of it, please say aye.
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 Any opposers?
Opposing. I oppose.
Ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Thank you so much. Next item on the agenda, third reading, also item number 4, is for the consideration of a request from Tygon Golf Carts LLC to rezone property at 4166 North Road in Orangeburg, tax map number 0143-15-01-002 from Forest Agriculture District to Commercial District.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Planning Commission met on March 12, 2025 to discuss the recommendation from Tygon Golf LLC. Property is currently developed. Its adjacent properties to north, south, east, and west are all zone forest and agriculture and commercial, neighborhood, or residential general. They're requesting to go from forest and agriculture to commercial general district for the purpose of building a golf cart business. There were opportunities to give input. People were notified, and adjacent property owners were notified by U.S. mail. Planning Commission meeting, they were given opportunities to make comments electronically via email or call directly by phone. There were 0 citizens expressed their support and 0 citizens expressed opposition. The Planning Commission is presenting this to you with a unanimous approval.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator, for the explanation. Council, you have any questions before you go third reading?
No, sir. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, second by Ms. Frazier, that we have third reading on item 4. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 5 is second reading, and it's an ordinance accepting the transfer of authority to conduct a municipal election in the town of Nices from the Nices Municipal Election Commission to the Orangeburg County Board of Registration and Election to prescribe the terms of such transfer and other related matters. Is this you, Madam Attorney, or is that administrator?
I believe that we have elections and registrations down here.
Anybody have any questions for? We have done this before for different areas. So I'll give you that information. I get a motion second for second reading.
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Frazier and second by Ms. Walker that we pass second reading on this item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. First reading by title only. This is these two ordinances, and I'm gonna read both of them. This is first reading by title only, so this is known by title only. We do this every year, first reading on the budget situation. It's an ordinance to provide for appropriation for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026, for the Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College and for other public and special education purposes, to provide for the levy of said taxes and other revenues coming to the county during the fiscal year for said purposes. The next one is item number 7 is an ordinance to provide appropriation for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026, for the Orangeburg County budget for ordinary county purposes and for other county purposes for which the county may levy a tax, to provide for the levy of taxes on all the taxable personal and real estate properties in Orangeburg County for all county purposes, including sufficient tax to pay the principal and interest on outstanding indebtedness of Orangeburg County maturing during the said fiscal year, and to provide for matters relating to Orangeburg County, and to provide for the expenditures of said taxes and other revenues coming to the county during said fiscal year. Mr. Administrator, you want to give a summary of this? This is a formality that we do every year, and I just wanted to make sure that for the public, you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is just the preliminary first reading of 2 more that we have to have to be in ordinance with the state laws as far as it relates to us passing the county budget. So this is just the first hearing, and we have started the process. And once we finish, we'll have 2 more readings and a public hearing on the county budget.
Thank you so very much. Could I get a motion and second for passing items 6 and 7 as read?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Frazier and second by Ms. Walker that we pass items 6 and 7 as explained. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Next item is procurement. We have three items. The first item is A, fiscal year 25-0408, Orangeburg County broadband material for Reconnect Phase 3 project. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is a request from the county for county broadband material for the Phase 3 Connect project. The proposal was advertised on the county website and bidnet.com. The proposals were due on April 8, 2025. The county received 4 proposals, and after local, state, and NBA preferences, and from the recommendation of our broadband engineer, the county is presenting the approval of the vendor Adams Cable and Equipment in the amount of $72,409.11.
Thank you so very much. Any council president have any questions? Most of the bidding were pretty close, except for the last one. It wasn't that far out, so that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a motion and a second to pass A?
So moved, Mr. Chair. Second.
Moved by Mr. Ravenel and second by Ms. Frazier that we pass item A on the broadband material reconnect phase project. But as explained by the administrator, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item B is a sole source justification, AT&T 911 system upgrade. Mr. Administrator, explain that, please, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We have to upgrade our AT&T system, which is the Viper system that handles our equipment and is the current intraday maintenance provider for Orangeburg County. And it deals with the software and the installation and upgrade of our Viper system and our 911 equipment. This is an upgrade to equipment that's part of the 911 call handling system. And for order the system to function, we have to be consistent and reliable. We have to upgrade the system and continue with AT&T, who provides the tech support, as well as maintaining the Viper call equipment. So because it's an AT&T product and we have an existing AT&T system, we have to use sole source to provide this, and the system upgrade is presented to you in the amount of $224,476,000.
Any questions from council on the explanation by the administrator? Hearing none, could I get a motion and a second that we pass the sole source?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, and second, and thank first by Ms. Walker that we pass this item as explained. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item C is fiscal year 25-0415, Orangeburg County Bridge repair for Buck Creek and Snake Swamp Road. Mr. Administrator?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We requested a proposal for Orangeburg County to repair Buck Creek and Snake Swamp Road bridge as required by DOT. The request for proposal was advertised on the county's website and bidnet.com. Proposals were due on April 15, 2025. The county received a proposal from J.D. Gaskins Construction in the amount of $92,000. After the local preferences were given, it was deemed a responsible bid, and therefore we're presenting this to you for approval.
Questions? Could I get a motion and a second?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Cooper Smith and second by Mr. Lois Frazier that we accept the bid that was explained by the administrator on these two items. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next item is a vote for executive session. And we're going to executive session for two items. One is executive session for economic development update, which is allowed by the South Carolina Code 30-4-70A5, discussion of matters relating to the proposed location expansion or the provision of services encouraging the location or expansion of the industries or other business in the area served by the public. And this is for an update on the project, which is the code name Rhino. So we will go in executive session. There will be no decision made. So we will just go in there for an update and information. Second item is personnel matter on economic development. And this is also allowed under the FOIA of that number that I just talked about. And this is a discussion of employment of an employee and discussion of negotiation of incident to propose infrastructure arrangements. So those are the two items that we were going into executive session to talk about. Could I get a motion and a second from somebody that we go to executive session for those items?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Frazier and second by Ms. Walker that we go into executive session to discuss those items as explained. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Before we vote, ask for a vote for adjournment, does any council person have any comments or any staff have any comments? Hearing none, could I get a motion and a second for adjournment?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, get a second. It's so moved by Mr. Frazier, and second by Ms. Smith. Could that be all right?
That's fine with me.
All right, so all in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the motion carries. We want to thank the public for attending our meeting tonight and thank you for all your input.